What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with Outpost, and I'm always on the lookout for Star Wars news, obviously. But one of the other things I always keep an eye on every morning I look at is Star Wars Expanded Universe. I just go ahead and Google that and see if there's anything going on. And over the past several weeks, I've seen a lot more articles and things like that come out about the Star Wars Expanded Universe in the aftermath of The Rise of Skywalker and the end of this sequel trilogy from Disney. There are a lot more people paying attention to the Expanded Universe for one reason or another, whether it be based on rumors of the next movies they're making, or whether they're just talking about appreciation for it, which I think is interesting. Today, I see this article here. Star Wars 10 Expanded Universe games we need to see adapted to their own movies. And I thought it was interesting to see, again, I made a video a couple days ago about all of the great games that Lucasarts made that were part of the Star Wars Expanded Universe. They go over some of them here. I don't agree with all of them. I don't think some of these would make the best movies, but I think it's really cool to revisit them. So, here we go. Disney's acquisition of Star Wars has seen many a brilliant story created for canon, from the comics to the movies to the video games to the novels. I would disagree with that first statement. One cannot help but miss a lot of the phenomenal stories that were turned into legends when said acquisition came to be. A lot of these stories were so beloved by fans came from video games, some of the best. And I do agree, like I said in my earlier video, that was some of the best years for Star Wars were when some of these incredible games were released, in my opinion. A lot of these stories, which were so beloved by fans, came from video games, some of the best. Despite the quality of games like Battlefront 2 and Jedi Fallen Order, and I will say that Battlefront 2, the 2017 version, is a lot better. Since release, they've done a lot of updates to it, and it is a lot better now. I've played it recently just to test it out. And Jedi Fallen Order, the expanded universe still has a far better and more expansive game catalog. That is truth. A lot of these video games have stories that would translate brilliantly onto film. So here are 10 Star Wars Expanded Universe video games we need to see adapted to film. First one, Star Wars Dark Forces. And we already did kind of see this because Disney stole it. Dark Forces was released in 1995 and introduced fans to Kyle Katarn, a fan favorite. The game shows Katarn being hired by the Rebel Alliance. See, tell me if this sounds familiar. This game shows Kyle Katarn being hired by the Rebel Alliance to find the pieces that make up the Death Star plans following his defection from the Empire. The problem with this is that Rogue One exists and is a great film. It's a good film. Nevertheless, Dark Forces is a great game with a fantastic story that would make an equally great movie. This is especially true with the character as brilliant as Katarn at the head of it. And yeah, as soon as I saw Rogue One, I knew and realized what they were going to do with the Death Star. I knew it was a gender-swapped remake of Rogue One. Just instead of Kyle Katarn and Jan Ors, you had Jyn Erso and Cassian Andor. So there you go. That would be amazing. So amazing that they, in fact, already tried to steal it for Disney. Just tweaked a couple things. Empire at War. Now, this one, I don't actually think you could really make this into a movie. That's my personal opinion. But Empire at War is an incredible strategy game. It's awesome. They still make tons of mods for it today, and people play it all the time. I need to get back into it, actually. Empire at War is a real-time strategy game where the player takes the reins of either Galactic Empire or Rebel Alliance in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. Campaign for each faction, which build up into the Galactic Civil War. Like he says, this would not be a conventional game to movie transition, as the story is not necessarily what would be made into the film, but rather the game. Seeing a movie on Disney Plus following war with both the ground and in the air with tactics, death, real rebels, and stormtroopers doing battleships would be fantastic. It's true to see a little more of the actual war aspect, which is something people really liked in Rogue One. It's interesting. Star Wars The Force Unleashed. God, people would go crazy if they made this into a movie. It's a brilliant game with similar quality story with a character in Starkiller that fans love. It shows Darth Vader take a young Force-sensitive boy as his secret apprentice and sends him on various missions. While this will never happen, it would be great to see the story reimagined on screen. This could be adapted differently with a few tweaks, but either way, the premise alone would make a brilliant film for all fans. In saying that, though, it's probably for the best Galen Merrick is not canon considering his severe overpowered nature, but the story would still be great. I will just say, Galen Merrick is extremely powerful. He did not bring a Star Destroyer down Let's just say that he tried to arrest and control just slightly its fall, so it would land in a slightly better place. That's what he did. He didn't actually rip it from orbit and rip it down. Just so it's clear. 7, Shadows of the Empire. A great game. Look at these graphics. Look at his elbow. Look at Dash Rendar's elbow. Shadows of the Empire is an amazing game that follows Dash Rendar on 4 separate missions. First, Battle of Hoth as he attempts to escape. Then it sees him searching for Boba Fett. He goes to Obi-Wan, or a gang sent to Obi-Wan Kenobi's where Luke is in training. And finally, Dash and other heroes rescuing Leia from Prince Zizor. Dash Rendar has not been fleshed out in canon at all. He is canon though, because of course they have one of these stupid little callouts in a little side book that gives you no detail on the character, just says their name, throwing this breadcrumb out there as if anyone should respect that. While the original trilogy cast would have to be recast, the story and characters as well as the action make it all worth it. See the story on screen. That's the big reason I think this would never happen. I guess it could happen when they reboot the original trilogy, because let's be honest, we know that's what Disney's going to do eventually. Yes. Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, is another great entry to the series, which again follows the legendary Kyle Katarn. Game sees Kyle as a mercenary after severing his Force connection following a near fall to the dark side. But throughout the game, events unfold and Kyle is needed by Luke and the Jedi Academy. Jedi Outcast is arguably the best of the game series and fully deserves a movie to tell its story. Even ignoring the fact that it would be insane to see Katarn in canon and a movie, the whole story of Jedi Outcast would make for a great movie to be put on Disney Plus with minor tweaks. Not just Disney Plus, people would go crazy if this movie was released. Let's just be honest, Kyle Katarn is one of the characters in Star Wars lore that is respected and loved and appreciated. I could definitely see them wanting to do this. Again, I don't know. It could be interesting, but Star Wars Battlefront and Battlefront 2. The original pair of Battlefront games phenomenal. Campaigns follow the plot of the saga, mostly fun, immersive shooters. Similar to Empire at War, the campaign is not what is wanted from the on-screen adaptation. He's basically just saying that they would like to see more Clone Wars battles in real life, not in TCW. And I agree that would be interesting. It would be better than TCW, in my opinion, just to get that realistic look at the clones during warfare. Yes, Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Star Wars Bounty Hunter is an awesome game. I have it for PS4. It was originally used on PS2. An often underrated Star Wars game, Bounty Hunter would be fantastic for a Disney Plus movie. The game follows Jango Fett and fills in the gaps of the story leading up to Attack of the Clones. And it's true. It basically explains so much of the plot of Attack of the Clones. It gives you a lot of background in between Episode 1 and Episode 2. And it's so cool. I freaking love this game. It was the first game I got for GameCube. I bought a GameCube and I got this and I think Super Smash Brothers came with it or something. And it was awesome. I played the hell out of it. I love this game. The Old Republic that I've been playing on this channel as well. The Old Republic is an MMORPG taking place in the titular era following various stories from a plethora of characters, which is true. You get to do 8 storylines in this. And if you want to play light side and dark side, you can really do even more. You can really do 16 storylines if that's really what you want. You have Jedi Knight, so you have a Jedi Knight character and more of a Jedi consular character. You also have a Republic trooper. You have a smuggler. And then on the Imperial side, you have a Sith warrior, a Sith, Sith sage, basically. So you can either be like a sorcerer or like an assassin. And you also have an Imperial agent. So that is an incredible storyline. And you also have a bounty hunter. It's like a Mandalorian type of thing. I love this game. There's a lot of people who kind of dig at it, but it is still going. It's still going strong, 8 years in. I would love... Listen, we know what they're going to do. We know they're going to go back to this High Republic era and they're going to kind of bastardize things. I think we all realize that. I would have loved originally to see an actual KOTOR and Old Republic movie from someone competent, not the people we have at Lucasfilm. Republic Commando, underrated game. In terms of Star Wars games that don't follow Force users, Republic Commando is the very best. The story of the game follows an elite squad of clone troopers, Boss, Scorch, Fixer, and Sev, known as Delta Squad. And we did see them a little bit, like this kind of thing a little bit in the Clone Wars. Republic Commando is an excellent game and would make an incredible movie or maybe like 6-episode series or something, following them around on their missions. Like an actual dark, gritty movie would be great. So here it is, seeing a gritty, harsh, claustrophobic film following this elite crew of clone troopers as they embark on cross-planetary missions, key to victory of the Republic, would be phenomenal. 100% agree. And then the one, of course, that everyone's been talking about for a long time, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. And if you watched a video I did on my channel yesterday, which I'll put in the card up here, you know, there's a rumor out there that this is currently in development at Disney. That a KOTOR series and film tie-ins is in development. And like I said, I'm worried about what they could do to the characters, but in a perfect world, I would love to see this. It was never going to be anything else sitting atop this list, but the game that sits atop the mountain of Star Wars video games is the best of the best. Knights of the Old Republic follows you as the hero, uncovering secrets about your past while fighting Darth Malak and his destructive Sith army throughout a plot where your decisions influence the story. While stories from the Old Republic on screen would be great, it would be so much better to see this game from the iconic era adapted. Everything about the game story would fit perfectly in a film, from the characters to the layers of lore it would add, and hopefully it being considered by Disney and Lucasfilm for not only a movie, but a trilogy. Again, so that is the 10 games that this person from the expanded universe thinks that would be incredible made into movies. And I agree with basically all of them, with the exception of I don't want Lucasfilm in its current state going anywhere close to it. We've seen that they have really no respect for the expanded universe and for these characters. We don't have any source material, says Kathleen Kennedy. What an absolute joke. But if they get the right group of people in there eventually, and they prove to us that they do care about what came before, and they do care about not only George Lucas's Star Wars creations, but Lucasfilm, you know, what George Lucas let Lucasfilm make being the expanded universe. So we'll see, but it just taking me back to those games makes you want to play each and every one of them as I read about it. But let me know what you guys think about these games, which one you think would be the best as a movie, assuming that it would be done right and not by Lucasfilm, and you know which one you would really want to see. Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video out there, ring the bell for notifications, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.